I was thinking, oh wow, not me starting, not me starting the live video and talking, and I didn't even have my headphones in. Ain't that something? Yeah, it's been a long day. Mm. But I've been reflecting heavily on that scripture about giving someone over to a reprobated mind, or how God will give you over to a reprobated mind. And so I looked into the word. I'm familiar with the meaning and everything. I've been familiar with it for a very long time. But God just, was dropping that scripture in my spirit. And so I looked further into the word and the context. I actually um, can go a little deeper or look a little deeper, and I am. But for the sake of this video, a reprobated mind is someone who has rejected truth, rejected God, okay, consistently, with a consistency that eventually manifests into that person becoming desensitized to whatever actions, whatever behaviors they're embodying, whatever consequences or whatever outcomes or um, whatever pain and harm and hardships that they are causing, creating for others, or orchestrating for someone else. This is somebody who um, just in that energy of, they're not learning the lesson, they're not choosing to walk away, turn the other cheek, they're not choosing to evolve, ascend, but moving in this relentless energy, almost like relentlessly attacking someone, or consistently ignoring someone, neglecting someone or something, right? And just constantly doing so many cycles of doing that, right? And so God giving a person over to that, in essence, is the one of those first examples, or let's just say God taught us that yes, you can love and let go. There's been some people attached to, let's just say they're the most recent evil group that's been targeting me on behalf of someone. They've been making like little slurs and stuff about, oh, you still love that person or whatever. Of course I still love that person. There are many people who get mistreated by their parents and they still love their parents. There are many people, or parent child dynamic where their kid or their child, their teen, their grown adult child, may not be the best person, to be around, or could even be disrespectful and considerate, selfish and stuff like that. But they still love that person. So the idea of God giving somebody over to a reprobated mind, as we have to learn to do so as well, is, no matter how much you love that person, if your efforts to bring truth to the forefront, love to the forefront, everything that are manifestations of God, you know what I'm saying, to the forefront in order to heal, stabilize, recreate harmony between you and that person or people. And they're constantly choosing opposition, or they're constantly choosing to oppose your intentions to create balance, okay, create resolve in the situation. Eventually you don't have a choice but to let go, because obviously if you keep on holding on to something that is depleting you, something that is toxic, it's almost like holding on to an illness, okay, or a disease, opposed to doing what is required to build your immunity, right? And ultimately, that's the goal. You want to build an immunity to, and I want to be very clear about this immunity energy. You want to build an immunity to people who are gonna all just for whatever reason continue to choose evil or choose to be opposition to somebody who, in no way, shape, or form is bringing any intentional ill or wicked or evil. Like, you're not a source of evil, period. But there's, going to be people who choose to keep opposing you. And just as, I mean, that within itself is proof of somebody who's been given over to a reprobated mind by God. God has, let that person basically be guided by their choice of evils. And so who are we to continue to combat somebody else's decision to be wicked, to be evil, to be mean spirited, to be inconsiderate, okay, to be insincere, deceptive? Like, who are we? It's natural when you love the person to give effort, okay? It's natural to want to throw love on it, throw light on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, try to bring that person along with you to escape out of those shadows, to escape out of those veils and those illusions, okay, that are being conjured and casted. But it's like this example I use sometimes about if you and a person are chained together and for whatever reason y'all fall in an ocean, or you're sinking in an ocean and this person is unconscious that you guys are sinking, and you being a conscious one, or you being like trying to bring you guys out of the ocean, and they're just completely out of it. You can't wake them up, right? So if you don't succeed at waking them up, and this person is creating extra weight on you, that will prevent you from rising, ascending, or getting to safety, that means the next goal would be whatever that chain, that tie, that bondage is that's holding you and that person together. That would be the next thing, next target of focus for you, and try to destroy, right? In order to escape drowning along with them, or escape the fate of dissension, if you remain attached to them or allow them to remain attached to you. And it's like, hopefully they snap out of it, before they are fully consumed with water. And but we have to be okay that there's a possibility that they may not, and be at peace with the fact that we did our due diligence, okay, to sow righteousness in a situation. We have to be okay with that. And it's easier said than done, right? But yeah, that's what I've been hearing about. You know, we also will have to give many over to reprobated minds. Okay. Is I was also hearing you are what you eat, right? So I'm hearing another phrase. I don't want to butcher it up, but as a man thinketh, so he is, or so is he, or something like that. But what I'm basically saying, if a person is constantly choosing to be evil or wicked towards you, and you genuinely try to handle the situation with honesty, or try to get the person to be honest, okay, it's that energy of you. It's impossible to work through it if the person is refusing to be honest, if the person and this is even given people trying to paint you out like the monster in the situation, like you are the antagonizer or the antagonist in the situation, knowing damn well that they were the one that initiated the conflict, initiated the attack, okay? But for whatever reason, they're using the illusion of advantage by means of the people attached to them. You get what I'm saying? And you see this heavily in situations where it's somebody who don't necessarily bring people into a situation where they're the one being targeted, like somebody who can for the most part stand on their own, somebody who's not necessarily not necessarily a person who's always at conflict or the aggressor, okay, but you're always on the defense. My thing, so what you have to be okay with, the reason why they use the same strategy of trying to paint your or narrate your defensiveness to their attacks, you have to be okay with it, because yeah, I'm pretty sure it is scary. Like when you consider being somebody who is extremely reasonable, extremely patient, extremely kind, extremely rational, extremely understanding. You know what I'm saying? Like these are people who are used to see you on that extreme side of the spectrum, right? And they assume that you're an easy target. They assume that, you know, oh, they can bully you, they can harass you, or whatever the case may be. Or they can easily get rid of you, or whatever, is driving them or motivates them to attack you. Their goals will be different. Some people will do it out of greed. Some people, and greed could be money, a position, status, attention, different things like that, right? But yeah, whatever their motives may be, you have to be okay with understanding that if these people are rejecting you being the person that's honest or your truth in a situation, and they're choosing to let deception override the truth, then think about that scripture when God said that God has given them over to a reprobated mind. Mind you, again, reprobate means a person who has consistently for a long period of time rejected truth or a truth or God, right? So if people call themselves being in this standoff with you, knowing that they are actually the bullies, they are actually the ones who victimize you, they are actually the one who targeted you, they are actually the one that's gang stalking you, harassing you, okay, trying to put out your light, and consistently doing so. These are people who in turn have rejected God, okay? And so what does that mean for you? That means that you have God on your side. You don't have to have that group. You don't have to have that those couple of people, or that you don't have to have anybody else. God is your strongest ally, and it's the fact that they even forfeited that opportunity, okay, by trying to uphold deception over the truth, you know? But yeah, another thing that I wanted to share that I was meditating on is, you guys, it's like if you didn't care for drama or care for chaos, and people just targeting you like for low vibrational reasons, and you don't even bother nobody, you don't know these people, that you a lot of times you barely know these people that even target you. These are people who have gotten some type of uh some type of glimpse of the kind of person you are or who you are for real, and they get triggered by it, and now all of a sudden you're public enemy number one. Like, I don't know, but you guys, are you guys noticing that you really don't care? Like, you don't care even more nowadays, in response to that. It's like, for example, I noticed that trolls are really on, trolls are going to be everywhere, especially on people who have something valuable to say. when it comes to social media and stuff. Like, of course, the trolls are gonna be there. Like, and then when you think about it, oh yeah, I think even in the definition that I was listening to of reprobate, it says something along the lines of treating right as wrong and wrong is right. Okay, that's that reprobated energy. But you notice how you're gonna see a lot of people that's supporting what's wrong or supporting evil or wickedness or things that are out of alignment or that creates disalignment, things that manifest disharmony and chaos, right? And discord. It's like pay attention to the people who will argue you down to support deception or things that are unhealthy, right? For children, for anybody, you know what I'm saying? But they will oppose things that are healthy, right? So it's okay if you have to be strong enough to understand that these people find their strength in numbers, okay? This is the oldest like fact like known to life. Like think about David and Goliath and that army. Think about how young David was when he slayed the giant, and the thing was when he slayed Goliath, and he did that just him and God. These were grown men, okay? David was a kid and he was small stature. These were grown men, okay, who apparently looked very militant. They had shields and armory and armor and all that stuff, but they were afraid of Goliath. Even with their weapons, they had weapons and they were still, punked out by Goliath. All of them together back down. All they had each other and they backed down. David, it was just him and God. And with one like I'm hearing Nikki when she was like, what she say, y'all? I will retire with the ring, and I will retire with the crown. Yes. Uh, I shine with the stars in the sky. I am no longer trying to survive. I believe that life is a prize, but to live doesn't mean you're alive. Don't worry about me and who I fire. I get what I desire. It's my empire. And yes, I call the shots. I am the umpire. Sprinkle holy water upon the vampire. And this very moment I'm king. This very moment I slay Goliath with a sling. This very moment I bring, put it on everything. That I will retire with the cream. That I will retire with the ring. I will retire with the crown. Yes. No, I'm not lucky. I'm blessed. Yes. Clap for the heavyweight champ. Me. You guys are heavyweights. You guys are heavyweight champions, okay, in the army of God. And you have to, literally perceive these people who fail to conceive God, conceive truth, or conceive, someone of your stature, okay, someone of your faith, right? These people, they're not seeing you. It's almost like those people who choose to fight. Y'all know how it used to be, those kind of bullies that would try to choose to pick on somebody that was like smaller than them. You get what I'm saying? Like it's giving that energy. Like it's not. First of all, it's not worth it. It's not sensible. I mean, now, granted, definitely stand your ground. Speak your truth when guided. There's a time and a place for everything. There's a time to speak. There's a time to be silent. You get what I'm saying? And whenever you're guided to expose, tell the truth about something, whatever the case may be, do so. But what these people are wanting to bait you into, like the actual all-out brawl and physical fights and things like that, and you competing from a place of vanity and things of that nature. No, for what? These people, they're just not on your level. You're not on their level. So yeah, people are gonna troll. That's what I mean. That's just that. Like that's just that. People gonna troll. People gonna be drawn to the light. Okay, whether that be butterflies, moths, okay, whomever. But yeah. Eventually, I'm gonna pick some moderators as my channel continue to grow. But I'm really kind of in a place where I really don't like. And here's my thing. I'm definitely at a place where I'm growing numb to like anybody that's trying to attack me or harvest off me by means of leaving very rude and nasty comments and stuff on my platform. But at the same time, I already addressed it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to keep addressing it, is where I'm going with it. So, I don't want it to become a thing where I don't care to read the chat at all, okay? Because of people kind of ruining it for everybody else. Because at the end of the day, I can still fulfill my assignment, my purpose, my mission from God to just share whatever I'm guided to share. You know, I'm not obligated to read no chat, no comment, no none of that. You know, so yeah, I appreciate those who are genuine and sincere and who are of God for sure. And I love interacting and engaging with y'all. But I don't know, like, and the reason why I think it's just more so that energy of, so you know how people intentionally try to make you complacent? Like people intentionally try to, like these are things that people, the whole purpose of them bullying you and stuff like that is to try to get you to be in this disinterest energy, detached energy, and but the only thing is they want you to be detached from things that are in alignment, things that are good and stuff like that. The way it's happening for us is that it's like the detachment is growing when it comes to people who have shown us who they are, who have shown, who've chosen to be wicked and evil towards us. Like that's where the is where the detachment energy is strengthening even more, like the numbing, like you're the numbing energy, like you're like kind of numb, like you just like it's boring, you know, it's lame, it's boring, it's played out, like oh my god, like okay, whatever. And again, some of these goals is to drive you crazy or for you to get tired, like just leave me alone, da, 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 da. You know, like to trigger you, and it's just like rolling of the eyes, like anyway, you know. And again, being that the frequency and the energy attached to what they're saying, okay, being intentional carnal weapons, okay, there's frequency attached to what they're saying that they want to penetrate your energy. So there's a part of your spirit that doesn't even care to look or check the chat, check the comments at all, and you're content with, you know, as long as you say what needed to be said, as long as you say what the divine guided you to say, as long as you do what the divine guided you to do, you know what I'm saying? As long as you did your part, you know, it's like I'm good. I'm good with God. So, eventually, you know, it's kind of unavoidable to understand why people weaponize rejection, abandonment, and neglect, things of that nature. Um, and I'm telling you, like, God neglects people. God, God, you know, let people go. God, you know, abandons people too. Like, that's giving someone over to a reprobated mind. That's what that means. That's what that means. And it's more so God honoring that person's free will. That's really what it's about. God honoring your free will, because God is not going to possess your body and just live your life for you. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to. God is respectful. It's like the scripture that says, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock." God gonna knock on your door and ask to come in. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't answer the door, God not gonna kick your door down. God gonna leave a memo. God gonna give you a call. God gonna come back in a couple more days. God gonna let you know, hey, I guess you're busy right now, but just know I'm a call away. Like, I'm here. But if you choose not to, call God back, you choose not to communicate, and connect with God, what else is God supposed to do? Like, let you go, give you over to your desires. Because clearly you don't desire me, you don't desire God. So, like, what is God supposed to do? Force you to desire Him? Like, this is people who wanted you to force them to pick you, choose you, desire you, and talk to you, and stuff like that. Like, these are people who they see they get off on that, and you guys realize that, and it's like, what, I don't know, I guess they wanted you to be ridden with shame because you put in true effort with people, because you actually care, like you're actually a real friend, like you actually are the kind of relative that a person should be. Yeah, these people try to shame you, okay, about that. But yeah, let that be inspiring to you. God did it before anybody else, right? Cain didn't want to choose God. He didn't want to choose righteousness. He didn't want to choose, you feel me, justice. God gave him over to a reprobated mind, period. In all your ways, acknowledge God, right? Cain did not do that. So what else is God supposed to do? Satan, Lucifer did not do that. What else was God supposed to do? Give them over to their desires, what they desire, which is saying giving you over to your free will. I can't control you. I can influence you. I can recommend. I could try to talk to you. You feel me? I can, but I cannot control you. So who am I? You know, and that's really the energy. Um, that's really the energy. And until people prove otherwise, if people have chosen to support people who are being mean to you, wicked to you, ill, people who are nasty to you, people who are traumatizing or traumatic to you, you have to treat that, you have to perceive, it will behoove you to see them as one with those people. If you were honest, if you were innocent in a situation and they choose to uphold lies that were projected and casted about you, I feel like the way you see those people that told those lies, whoever that was that chose to support those people and not you, they are those people until otherwise, until they prove otherwise. So okay, we can take into consideration spell work and energy and emotional manipulation. We can take into consideration all that. However, I feel like we're kind of encrypted with what's right and what's wrong energetically and on the frequency level, like as we come into this world as kids. So no, it's not really an excuse. They chose that. They chose to be evil towards you. They chose that. And it doesn't mean something is wrong with you, or, oh, it's just a trauma bond. No, like, it's okay to love people and still have to let them go, like, because of their wickedness, because God do it. Reprobated mind. Give them over. Give them over. Okay? Let them be. Let them be. Um, you just have to know that you're not losing anything for real. As long as you don't lose God, as long as you're not being forsaken by God, because you haven't forsaken God, regardless of how painful cycles have been, you're not really losing anything. 1222. You're not. You haven't lost anything. Even when you lose people, if you lose somebody that you was in love with them, bro, and that shit crushed your fucking heart, As long as you haven't lost your faith in God, you have not, I'm telling you, you have everything that you need. Period. All right, you guys. Again, I had a long day. I'll see you guys next time.